It's Tuesday, the 14th of September 2010, and this is Photo Walkthrough episode 134, tutorial 20, chapter 3. Hello and welcome back to Photo Walkthrough. On today's show we're going to be taking another long look at some of the new features in Photoshop CS5 while we add those fashion labels to our slideshows. But before we do that, of course, as usual, I'd like to say thank you to today's show sponsor, and that's Zazzle. Zazzle have got the most fantastic site for putting your photographs on all sorts of goods: bags, badges, buttons, t-shirts, mouse mats, posters, almost anything you can think of. And remember, you can set up your own online store where you can sell your photographs printed on those things and make a little bit of money. As a Photo Walkthrough viewer, you get a discount 10% on any order over $50 by using the promo code PHOTOWALK002. Put that in at the checkout and you'll get that discount. And thank you very much to Zazzle for supporting Photo Walkthrough. Okay, let's get started with today's show, where we're going to do some more work with Photoshop CS5. So our final step, we've got our text looking pretty good. I think the final thing I'd like to do is just sort out a little bit of light on here. It's a little bit lighter on the left and a little bit less light on the right here in the highlight portion. I'm just going to do a very quick dodge and burn layer. So that's a new layer above our background layer, below our text, and I'm going to change the blending mode to soft light. I'm going to choose a brush, and I'm going to paint white where I want to dodge and black where I want to burn. So I'm going to, with my brush, I'm going to make my brush about the size of the edit I want to make. I'm going to make my opacity 10%. I'm going to press the 1 key on the keyboard, which jumps my opacity to 10%. And by the way, have you noticed we've got these new buttons here in Photoshop CS5? We've got a button that makes the tablet pressure control opacity right here in the option bar, so we don't need to go into the brush tool. And we've also got another button there that enables airbrush mode here in the option bar, and another button for tablet pressure control size, which is again another thing that you could choose here in the option bar rather than having to go into the brushes palette. So with black selected, I'm going to press the X key to swap to black, and I'm just going to put in a little bit of darkening there. And I'm going to, with white selected, pressing X to go to white, I'm going to just paint a little bit of lightening on the right hand side over here. So let's just see, without and with, it just levels things up a little bit. I think I may have just gone a little bit over the top with the black. I've gone a bit too far there. That's better. And I think also bring a bit of colour back if I use overlay instead of soft light. So that's looking a little better. Let's just see that before and after, before and after, and I think that just evens it up a little bit. You kind of need to leave it on for a moment or two just to see whether or not that's actually better or worse, because your eyes get used to what you've seen before. So yeah, I think there we go. Just giving it just bringing out that shape. Yeah, that's better. So it looks a bit like it's rounded now, which of course it is already, but I want to just emphasize that a little bit. So we've got our tab looking pretty good. I want to just now crop this down the last step. I'm just going to go grab the crop tool, and I'm going to just crop and leave a little bit of transparent around it, because I do want, when I use this, I do want there to be just a little bit of transparent area around so that those edges look nice. We've taken all the care to get that nice cutout edge. Let's actually use it well. So I've got the crop about right there. I don't want any of this black area in, because that's going to be our image when we come to use this. So I'm going to press enter on that, and we've got our final image there. And now we need to export this in a way that keeps that transparency. Now there are 2 or 3 different ways of keeping a transparency in an image, and they are appropriate to different situations. Without going too deeply into it, I can tell you that the best format for us to use in Photoshop, in Lightroom rather, is a PNG. So I'm going to do File, Save for Web and Devices. I don't want to do a Save As or a Save, because those will keep our colour space information the same as we're working on them now. What I want is for the colour space to be changed to sRGB, because that's much easier for most things to work with. So Save for Web and Devices keeps our colour space in sRGB. You can see there's an option here, convert to sRGB, and you want to leave that on. That's pretty much the main reason for using Save for Web and Devices. So down here at the bottom I'm going to choose image size 500 and tab off, and my window is just a little bit too large for the screen here, so I can't actually see the button to export. So on your screen you can see down here at the bottom a button for saving that file. So I'll just do that by dragging this over onto a screen that is big enough. I've got two monitors here, so you'll have to forgive not being able to see this part of the process. But there's Save button. I'm going to click that, and it's going to give me a window where I can choose the folder to save it into. I'm going to stick this in my Dropbox, and I'm going to call it PW134. You can see I've been practicing this. So PW134, save, and that's now saving away to my Dropbox. Dropbox, by the way, is a really useful tool. I use it all the time. I keep stuff that I'm going to want everywhere in my Dropbox, and you might not think there's much of that, but when you start using it, you start thinking, oh, you know, it'd be really great if I had all my web profile pictures in there. Oh, it'd be really great if I always had a logo for my company in there. It'd be really great if I had my price list in there. You know, and all of a sudden you find this wealth of stuff that you just want on every machine you ever work on. You can see Dropbox working away there in my menu bar. It's just finished uploading that file that I've just created. So let's take this image now and save this as a PSD file, so that we can come back and re-edit this if we wish. I'm just going to file save as now, and I'm going to save a second copy of this, and I'm going to let this be in the Wacom tag folder, which is where we started. I like PSD. TIFF is equally good. If you're planning on saving the layers, the two formats you want to look at are PSD and TIFF. So PSD I happen to like. I sometimes use TIFF by accident, and it's no big deal. So I'm going to just say save on that, and very important, always maximize compatibility. It sounds like something you shouldn't need. It is something you shouldn't need, but unfortunately it's something you do need. What it does is it saves in your file a version that has all of the sort of layers information and transparency information intact as a sort of a separate copy, so that programs that are a bit brain dead and can't read the whole Photoshop file format have still got a simple version that they can just more simply read, rather than having to go and apply all the layers to each other and understand it properly. Unfortunately, and I think to Adobe's great shame, Lightroom, which is an Adobe product, is one of those that doesn't properly read Photoshop files. So in order for Lightroom to understand a Photoshop file properly, you have to turn on Maximize Compatibility. I think this is ridiculous, but apparently Adobe don't agree, so even though they make it an option, always turn it on, because it's something you need. So writing the Photoshop document, and we've now got a nice version of that with layers, and we've got a nice PNG version that we can go and use in Lightroom. So let's jump back into Lightroom and see how we use that in the new Slideshow module. So here we are back in Lightroom 3, and you can see the file that I've been working on has been loaded back into Lightroom. It's spotted that I did that edit, and it's stacked it with the version that I worked from. And you can see if we click on the number here in the film strip, we can open and close that little stack. It puts our newly edited version on the top of the stack, but we've still got our original here underneath if we want to ever go back and use that again. So so I can close that stack up, but we've got also saved our PNG version, and that's the one we want to use in the slideshow. So okay, that's us done for another show. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week with the last chapter in this tutorial. I'll see you then.
Photo Walkthrough is a free online video show about photography and digital photo editing using Photoshop and Lightroom. Please help support the show by using our sponsors' promo codes or by passing the promo codes on to your friends. Join the Photo Walkthrough community, find all the old shows, and subscribe to the new ones for free at photowalkthrough.com.
Photocastnetwork.com, your photography resource in the potosphere. Photocastnetwork.com